Welcome to Victor Narrates Reddit. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story. Tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Now, let's begin. My unfaithful wife died, tragically in a traffic accident, heartbroken by my revenge. Today's story is a reminder that secrets have an expiration date. Some just take a little longer to spoil. 2 years after we were married, her best friend confessed what happened the day before our wedding. Some people might say that at this point, it's water under the bridge, but I, 33M, have been married to Mia, 32F, for 2 years, and I just found out she cheated on me before we even got married. Does that make it any less significant? Of course not. There's no statute of limitations on infidelity, and I feel it hurts just as much as if it had happened yesterday. For me, the real problem is that this happened the day before our wedding. That was one of the moments in her life when she should have felt most certain about her feelings for me. I think it would have been better if she had cheated on me in the middle of our relationship. At least then I wouldn't feel as disrespected as I do now. It's like a slap in the face. Clara, her best friend, was the one who told me. She knew from the moment it happened, but kept the secret all this time. I don't blame her. I suppose you try to be loyal to a friendship, even if it doesn't change the fact that it was morally wrong. In the end, she confessed, and that's what matters. Clara and I have become better friends throughout my marriage, and maybe that's why she couldn't keep the secret any longer. She asked to see me, and I agreed, so we ended up at a coffee shop. I had no idea what she wanted to tell me or that it was something so important. She didn't waste any time. She started by warning me that what she was about to say was heavy and implied it had to do with my marriage. So if for any reason I didn't want to hear it, I could tell her. Unfortunately, that warning was enough to awaken an enormous curiosity in me. Even though I knew I would regret hearing whatever it was, I could just sense it was something bad. I told her I wanted to know. She looked me in the eye and told me that Mia had cheated on me. I remember just sitting there in silence, staring at her for a few seconds. I asked if she was playing a joke on me, but she assured me she wasn't. Besides, that wasn't the kind of thing she would joke about. That's when I started asking questions. When did it happen? Who was it with? How did she find out? Why was she telling me instead of keeping her friend's secret? I felt like I needed to know so many things. She told me it was the day before our wedding. I had to stop her right there and ask if she was sure, and she confirmed it. For me, that information was incredibly hard to digest. It felt truly unbearable. Again, cheating is bad enough on its own, but for it to have happened the day before we made our wedding vows made me sick to my stomach. It happened with the brother of one of the bridesmaids. His sister had forgotten something crucial they were going to need for the wedding, so he stopped by to drop it off. Mia knew him to some extent. Clara caught them exchanging glances. The guy left, and about a minute later, Mia went out after him. She didn't come back for almost 45 minutes. Most of the other girls were asleep, so only Mia, Clara, and the guy's sister could have suspected anything. Clara knew for sure what had happened because she asked Mia directly. They were so close that, although Mia tried to deny it at first, under enough pressure she ended up confessing the truth, but she begged Clara to keep it a secret. Clara kept it for 2 years, but she told me that as she grew closer to me, it became harder and harder to hide it. She just thought I didn't deserve to be with someone who had so little respect for me, even if that person was her friend. She couldn't be sure, but she had a feeling that someone capable of doing something like that the day before their wedding would probably continue to do it during the marriage. I remember staring at her in silence for a long time, unable to articulate words about the situation. I felt like I couldn't put my feelings into words. Finally, I asked her what she thought I should do. She said she didn't know. I could forgive her, or I could end the relationship. And in either case, I had the option of confronting her or just leaving without an explanation. That actually made the decision easier for me because I knew I could never forgive it. Forgiveness is the easy option because it lets you hold on to the security of the life you thought you had. But is that life ever the same again? I would stay in it, but I would never trust her again. I hate change as much as the next person, but this is one of those times when I have to choose a drastic change over comfort. I'm going to end things. Any self-respecting man should choose that option. Forgiving is practically rewarding bad behavior. Oh, he forgave me once, so it's okay if I decide to cheat on him again. That's what you end up programming them to think. As much as I've decided to go my own way, it still hurts like hell. I hate how love gets into your brain, I shouldn't feel so bad for someone who hurt me, but she happens to be the person I least expected it from. I made sure to thank Clara for being honest. I know it couldn't have been easy for her, and I don't blame her for keeping the secret either. I know many people will disagree with me on that last point, but she has known her for much longer than she's known me. Anyway, divorce is the next step in my life. I never would have imagined it, but I have to play the cards life has dealt me. Update 1: If you read my previous post, I seemed certain that I was going straight for a divorce from my unfaithful wife. But I changed my mind. I don't know where the idea came from, but I decided I'm going to hold on to the information I have for a little while longer. Instead, I'm going to turn the tables. I'm going to give her a taste of her own medicine. I've already started. The plan is simple. It hurts that my wife slept with another man the day before our wedding. I found out 2 years later, so she had no intention of confessing. It's not the kind of thing someone can justify by saying it was a simple mistake. There's definitely no remorse. One of the worst parts is that I don't know if that was the only time. Was it the first time? Was it the last? Is he the only one it's happened with? There are so many questions I don't have answers to, and even if I confronted her, I couldn't trust her to tell me the truth. I will always be in the dark about what really happened. She could be cheating on me right this moment. I've made the decision to hurt her in return. This time, I'm not going to act maturely. If cheating is going to be what destroys us, I want her to know what it feels like too. However, I'm not going to actually cheat on her because I'm still married to her, and I'm a better person than that. There's something in me that simply refuses to disrespect the vows we made, regardless of the fact that she was the first one to cheat, and I know this will be over soon. Instead, I'm going to make her think I'm cheating on her. I'm going to act as suspiciously as possible. I want to get inside her head. She's the type of person who is very prone to overthinking. It's something I've learned about her, and that's precisely what I'm going to exploit to get my revenge. Only when I'm completely satisfied will I confront her and put an end to it all. It would be even better if I can affect her so much that she ends up being the one to initiate the divorce. That would make me feel good. I've already started the process. The first thing I've been doing is staying out late and making up lame excuses for why I'm arriving hours after I should. It's easy to do after work. Some days I just come home late and say I was swamped with tasks. Other days I've blamed it on traffic. But the real difference is that before, I always let her know I wouldn't be on time, and now I've stopped doing that about half the time. I've noticed it's been enough to start making her feel uncomfortable. On one occasion, she already asked me why I stopped letting her know when I wasn't going to be home at the usual time. My excuse was that I've been feeling very tired and just focusing on getting home, so I've been forgetting more than usual. However, that's not all. Besides coming home late, I've started going straight to the shower on the days I'm late. Whereas on the days I'm on time, I don't. I make sure to stay close to her and chat for a while. I want her to think there's a reason I disappear so quickly on the days I'm late. The good thing is, I know she's noticed because she has asked me on more than one occasion why I don't stay and talk to her for a bit before going to wash up. I take much longer in the shower on the days I'm late, but not on the days I'm on time. It's a lot of small details, but I'm going to be consistent with it, and I'm going to start adding a little more to the mix to really start messing with her head. I don't know if she's putting the pieces together yet, but I hope she is. If not, I'll have to be more direct. Update 2: After my last post, I took things to the next level. Although I know Mia understands what's happening, I've been pushing things further and further. I know it's working because Clara, her friend, called me to ask why I hadn't taken any action yet. She wanted to know if I had decided to forgive my wife, but I told her no. I had to fill her in on what I was doing, as she told me Mia had called her crying because she has a strong premonition that I'm cheating on her. For me, that was exactly what I was looking for. The funny thing is, that reaction came after the steps I mentioned in my previous post, and since then I've intensified everything even more. One of the things I added to the mix was going to buy a new cologne. It smells really good. I didn't tell her I bought it. She just had to smell it on me. She asked if it was a gift, but I told her I bought it on a whim. She grilled me about it because she didn't believe I would buy cologne secretly without telling her. She kept insisting on the possibility that it was a gift from someone. I applied the same strategy to a new t-shirt that fit me perfectly and a pair of new sunglasses. We went down the exact same path. She couldn't stop obsessing over them being gifts. This time, she was much more direct and asked if some girl had given them to me, to which I replied, "Of course not." She didn't seem convinced, and I didn't try too hard to sound convincing. Then I moved directly to the things I knew would really hurt her. Hiding my phone, placing it face down when I wasn't using it, grabbing it immediately as soon as a notification came in, and angling the screen away from her when typing messages. I could see her falling apart. The best part was that I could track her frustration through Clara, who, despite having ratted out her friend, was not enjoying the approach I had decided to take. But I didn't care. Her part was already over. I know that sooner or later, she's going to explode. One night I caught her checking my phone while I was asleep, but I knew it was clean, so I didn't panic. I had even deleted all my messages with Clara. There was nothing she could use to confirm her suspicions. I know the moment is approaching, and I'm just waiting for her to finally snap at me and my suspicious behavior. I'm waiting for that moment because I know it will be when her mental torment finally reaches its limit. That's when I'll deliver the final blow and let her know I know everything. When that day comes, I'll be here to update you all as soon as I can. Update 3: if you've been keeping up with my previous posts, I'm happy to say that I've finally reached the climax of this whole thing. I don't feel great about it, but I feel like I wasn't going to feel good anyway from the moment I was cheated on. All of this is just me being the vehicle for the consequences. I continued my act and all my ways of driving her crazy until she finally snapped. I was leaving the house, dressed very nicely. I told her at the last minute that I wanted to go out and hang with my friends, and that seemed to be the straw that broke the camel's back for her. She ran after me and grabbed the back of my collar before I could leave the house. I had never seen her act that way. She was very clearly upset. She asked me where I was really going, and I just repeated the same thing. She had already started crying. She told me she was no fool and that she knew something was going on. She began to list all the things she had noticed that convinced her she wasn't crazy. She knew there was another woman involved and wanted me to do the right thing and just tell her the truth. You've always told me the truth about everything. Can't you just do it this one time? I looked at her, pretending to be confused, and asked why she was acting so crazy. That made her explode. She started screaming and shouting that I was gaslighting her. She said there were obvious signs, but I was trying to make her feel like she didn't know what she was talking about. She even mentioned that she had told Clara from the first moment she started noticing it, so it wasn't like she had just decided to lose her mind that day out of nowhere. She told me she couldn't take it anymore, that I kept acting like everything was fine, and it was driving her insane. She didn't care what happened next. She just wanted me to admit it, tell her the truth, and stop. I looked her in the eyes and told her I wasn't cheating on her. I said it with all the sincerity I could muster. That infuriated her, because the only answer she was going to accept as the truth was me admitting I was with someone else. So you're showing all the signs of being a cheater, but you're not cheating on me? She began to list, one by one, all the things she had noticed, and after each one, she asked me if it seemed like something a cheater would do. I answered yes to most, though not all. That made her even more desperate. Again, you're doing all these things, but you're not cheating on me, right? I replied, yes. It looked like she was about to lose control, but I told her to wait. It was at that moment I confessed that I was really doing all of this just to mess with her, because I knew there was only one cheater in that room, and it wasn't me. Wait, are you trying to say I cheated on you? Are you going crazy? I laughed at that. I became intimidating. I stood right in front of her, very close to her face, and asked her if she hadn't cheated on me the day before we got married. I saw the color drain from her face. I saw her start to tremble. She began to sway as if she couldn't stand up for much longer. She tried to say something, but only a stutter came out. Before she could speak, I told her I knew who it was with and exactly when it happened. I also lied, telling her that I had known for a long time and had simply grown tired of living with a liar and a traitor. At that moment, the tears started to flow. She looked at me with pain in her eyes. She tried to touch me and say soft words, but I slapped her hands away. I told her to take her things and leave. I was surprised she didn't try to deny it, but I guess the sudden shift in the situation left her too shocked to do so. I reiterated that I hadn't really cheated on her, that I just wanted her to taste a bit of the pain that comes with knowing someone isn't being faithful to you. I was also fascinated to know that she would leave aware that she was solely responsible for our marriage ending. I've never doubted that she loves me, so I know this is going to really hurt her. However, it hurts me too, so she's not special. She packed her things and left the house. She tried to put up a fight, but it was clear I was in no mood for arguments. There was no room for negotiation, and she could see that clearly. Very slowly, she gathered all her things. Once she was finished, she came to me looking shattered. "Baby, please, I can't live without you. I really can't live without you. Don't do this to me. I'm sorry. I'll always be sorry. If it had been anything else, maybe I would have been moved. But infidelity? I'm sorry. I just couldn't change my stance on that." I pointed to the door, and she finally took her belongings and left. I've been alone in this house for the last 2 days. It's going to take a lot of getting used to, but I don't care. If I can start my life over, with a clear conscience and without a cheating woman by my side, then whatever I have to face by being single again is worth it. It hasn't been long before she turned to alcohol. I've been getting a lot of drunk texts from her. They give me a strange kind of dissatisfaction, and that's the only reason I haven't blocked her. As much as I loved her, I'm glad to see she's getting what she deserves. The divorce will come later, but hopefully, things will work out for me. I guess time will tell. Update: for it's been a month since I kicked her out of the house, and I've finally signed the papers to file for divorce. I didn't want to waste any more time or leave any loose ends. My lawyer arranged for the notice to be hand-delivered to her at her workplace to make sure she had no room to dodge it or cause a scene at my door. According to a mutual acquaintance, the notice caught her completely off guard. I guess a part of her still held on to the illusion that my behavior was just a temporary punishment and that I would eventually give in. Seeing the signed legal documents was the reality check she needed to understand that there's no turning back. Since she received the papers, the flurry of desperate calls and messages has tripled, but this time I didn't give her the satisfaction of reading them. I blocked her from everywhere and left everything in my lawyer's hands. There's nothing more to talk about. The mind game stage is over, and now all that's left is to legally close this chapter to get my life back completely. Update 5. I thought the divorce process would be the last update I'd write on this matter, but life took a dark turn I never expected. Just a couple of hours ago, I received the news that put a definitive end to all of this. Mia passed away. I found out from Clara. It turns out that 5 days ago, devastated by the divorce and consumed by guilt, Mia fell into a spiral of alcoholism. One night, after having too much to drink at a bar, she made the reckless decision to drive her car while intoxicated. She lost control of the vehicle on a curve and crashed head-on into a light pole. She was killed instantly. By the time I found out, the family had already buried her in a private ceremony. Clara was the only person who came to tell me everything in detail. She explained how Mia had been collapsing in recent weeks and how everything ended in the worst possible way that night. Hearing that the person you shared your life with has died brings a strange and difficult feeling to process. But at the same time, I feel a cold certainty that the story has come to its end. There are no more lawsuits, no more claims, no more grudges to hold. The consequences of her own decisions caught up with her in the most tragic way possible. Today, I finally close this book. It's time to leave the past behind, heal, and move on with my life.